Take a breath together. Let's remember, just breathe real quick one time. In through your nose, out through your nose. In silence, there is wisdom. Just came out of a very nice meditation. I guess it was about 40, 50 minutes of reset and refocus. Feel good. Feel very good. I have really been focusing on the next stage for me, the next level. Um, that really includes, I'm very good at knowing what's good for me and what's not. And that's it's really the biggest hurdle. Of course, you got to implement it, but most people don't know. They don't correlate what they hear, what they see, what they eat, what they do. They don't correlate that with their frequency or how they're feeling. They just kind of think everything's just random. They just feel this way just randomly. Um, they don't think about it. Um, they talk about it, complain about it, but they don't actually think about it. And if you ask them, for the most part, they know exactly what they're doing that's not good for them, and they would like to stop. But stopping requires effort, and you're. I like to think of it as like you're facing the wave that you have created. So, in order to stop your habitual action and go against that momentum, you have to turn around, brace yourself, put your arms up, let the wave hit you, get knocked on your ass, get back up. Here comes another wave. So people just, fuck it. Let's just keep going with this, how it is, whatever. And that leads to regret. So what I'm very good at is evaluating and putting on paper exactly the do's and the don'ts of my next stage. And I'm very disciplined. Um, I make sure to do everything that I need to do every day for myself that I know I should. And I'm not 100% though. It takes me time sometimes. Sometimes it takes me weeks, sometimes months to implement certain things into my daily routine. But I think much more important than what you do is what you don't do. So I think, before you can put anything in, you got to take things out. So if you evaluate and say, what am I doing that is sabotaging me currently? And for me, my bad habits would be staying up late, um, because I feel best when I go to bed early and wake up early. That's when I feel best. Um, but I just have a habit of staying up later than I should. And that is a trickle down effect. Sleep is a thing that doesn't necessarily impact you the next day. It often does that day as well, but it's often a thing that, a week from now, you say, I'm tired. And it's because a week ago, you had a fucked up day of sleep. So it's a really important thing to be extremely disciplined about. We go to bed at the same time, we wake up at the same time. And for the most part, over probably the last 8 months, I've really changed my sleeping schedule to going to bed at latest like 11 o'clock. Um, Most times earlier than that. I was a person who stayed up till 3 a.m. every single day, no matter what. So that change has been drastic and great. I love that change. It's done so much for me. I've slept so much better. And then taking out caffeine altogether, that was a bad habit of mine where I would drink coffee every day. And I just stopped. And maybe I have it like once a week. Sometimes not at all. But that's something I've been doing for about 3 months, and I have slept way fucking better without coffee. And I wasn't drinking coffee late at night, but caffeine stays in your system for a minimum of 6 hours. So, you don't have to drink it late at night in order for it to impact your sleep. Um, and also sugar. Sugar just fucks everything. So I've been really I'm not saying I'm off the sugar, but I've cut back my sugar by a lot on a daily basis. And coffee was something I put sugar in. So those two things have gone hand in hand. Yeah, so what I need to get better at is because, so many people and just in general read a bunch of books, you get a bunch of information, and then you have a bunch of knowledge, but knowledge not put into action is useless. So you don't need to fucking read every self-help book, and you don't need to get a bunch of fucking information. You can pick one thing, you could pick 10 things, you could pick 100 things, and you already know what those things are, and you could start doing them right now. And I'm really talking to myself. I do a lot and I leave a lot on the table. There's a lot of things that I know about that I don't participate in on a daily basis. And I know exactly what diet I should eat. I know exactly what time I should wake up, what time I should go to bed, what exercises I should do every day. And I don't do it. Not every single day, not every single moment do I do exactly what I was supposed to do. And that is because I'm a fucking human. And humans are self-saboteurs. Um, and it's just it's just in our nature because we listen to the mind. And the mind is a fantastic tool. And if you don't use it, it will use you. And the mind is just trying to keep you alive. And it does a good job at that, it really does. And what it does is it tries to preserve you for today. It does not really give a fuck about this theoretical day down the road where blah, blah, blah. Today is trying to keep you out the way of harm and it's trying to get the things that it thinks it needs. So, there's a real reason why sugar is such a big problem in our society. There's a real reason why fried fatty foods is a big problem in our society, and it's because our body craves those things because it can store those things really well and use it theoretically use it as energy somewhere down the road when you're starving. However, in general, people don't starve today. We got a lot of fucking people on the planet, and forget about the planet. Let's just talk about America. We got 75% people who are obese. A lot of that is sedentary lifestyle, but the other component is diet. And we crave those fatty, not fatty, those fat making foods, that greasy, um, fake ass ingredient burgers and bread and bread has a lot of sugar in it, by the way, if you didn't know that. Especially white bread. And we crave all these desserts and sweets and, and salt, chips and fries, all that kind of shit. Because we can convert it into fat very well. And we used to need to do that because we were not eating every day. We were not necessarily eating every other day or not every week. We were eating whenever we could. And when we could, we would fucking eat as much as possible because we weren't able to store it very well. And see when the next time we could eat. But people used to eat when they were hungry. And the less you eat, the less hungry you get. The more you move, the less hungry you're gonna be because you're thinking about whatever the fuck you're thinking about. But they were necessarily moving to stay with the animals. And I don't know if you've seen humans, but we are tactical, but we're not the greatest fucking hunters on the face of the earth. Um, we had, especially if you go back way back, we had a lot of disadvantages and we had a lot of competition, and so we we had to create systems and work together in order to eat as much as we did. We think, oh, there's 8 billion people. That's an arbitrary number whether you think it's a lot or it's a little, whatever. But that's a very recent number, extremely fucking recent. If you look at the population statistics, you would be flabbergasted. Um, we didn't reach billions until very recently, and if you go way back, there's thousands of hundreds of thousands of people on the planet, people, humans, and that not a lot. They were struggling and struggling in a lot of different ways. So the things that mattered were the things that matter to bacteria, which we are mostly made up of. Um, Bacteria are just trying to reproduce. That's it. And in order for us to reproduce, we had to get to it because our lifespan was short, because times were tough, and it was difficult to eat. It was difficult to do anything that you wanted to do. So, but particularly eat. So it was very advantageous for us to store belly fat in particular. And here we are now. We're still, it takes a long time for evolution and for things to, for our bodies to understand that things have changed. And right now we haven't caught up, and we don't have the tools or the conversations in order to change those things in our society through our cultural values. So, all that to say, you got to go through it. Can't go around it because there's nothing around it. You got to go right through the fucking center of it, right through the middle of it. And you know, you could say it's difficult, it's hard, whatever, but the alternative is much more difficult and a road that you don't want to go down because there is there are so many bad things waiting down that road. And if you're not prepared, then it's going to be a long, tough road. because it's going to be a long, tough road, even if you are prepared. So there's so many little things that you can do on a daily basis to make that road easier. And you know what they are. Truly, you do. You don't need no fucking guru, no coach. You know. Maybe you need someone to hold you accountable. Maybe you need good, better friends and good relationships in your life. And then maybe you do need a coach to hold you accountable, but you don't need some person to tell you things in general because you fucking know. If you look at your own life, you take a moment, you take a pause, you know what's going right and what's going wrong. You're fucking an intelligent species. So cut the fucking excuses. Not calling you out, calling you up. That's coming from this dude Wes. I don't know his last name. I don't know. I just really found out about him. He's extremely fucking popular. Has his own coaching business. He's on his YouTube everywhere. He is making $3 million a month allegedly on his coaching business. And what I really got from him is you can take lessons from everybody, but we really see eye to eye on a lot of different things. Is very interesting because we obviously live a very different lifestyle growing up. And what's interesting about him is to me is his his openness to saying that he don't need anything. And I feel the same way. It's like people's favorite word is need. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. What are they talking about? I need coffee. I need sugar. I need this meal. I need to eat right now. I need my phone. Need blah, 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 blah. You don't need any of that shit. What the fuck would happen if you didn't have it? Nothing. You would what? Be upset? Be angry? Be sad? Be hungry? Who gives a fuck? So one thing that he has taken to the extreme level is he don't need money. He says he don't need money. He's not afraid of being poor again. He's not afraid of being broke again. He does not care how much money he makes. Yes, he likes it. Yes, he appreciates it and he uses it and he has fun with it, but he is not attached to it. And that's why money keeps flowing into his name because he keeps spending it. And that's why he keeps coming in. You know, that's a mindset that I could definitely fucking adapt because I understand universal laws, I use them, I practice them. But one thing that I definitely can get is um I could get like a squirrel, hoarding all the nuts. I can definitely feel like trying to stack money. I can definitely feel like trying to stack money, and in the way of trying to stack money, I think I get in my own way a little bit by kind of by like not splurging, I would say. It's not like there's a bunch of things that I desire that I want that I'm holding myself back from, but I can definitely be like when I make purchases that I don't necessarily need, which is fucking all of them, I think, well, that's undisciplined of me. But universe doesn't give a fuck about discipline. The universe just wants to hear yes or no. And when you say no, you saying yes. So it just wants to hear yes. And this dude is just doesn't give a fuck about money. Money is just energy, and then shit flows to him. He he fucking spends $1 million a month on whatever the fuck. Like literally just like on bullshit. On sending somebody a private jet to come hang out with him. Like dude is does not give a fuck. And he's making 3 mil a month. So you don't care. And of course it's to easy to say you don't care when you're making 3 mil a month. But the reason he's gonna keep expanding, the reason he is expanding is because he's not attached to it and he keeps sending it out. And what you give, what you receive is what you give. And that shit is just keeps going back and forth. And he's helping people. It's crazy that our society has turned into one where this dude fucking Wes and Tate are the role models because can you take things from them? 100%. But I mean, look, I rather look up to them or have a society that looks up to them than a society that looks up to Bill Gates and fucking Mark Zuckerberg. Because if you meet Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, you're not going to think twice. If they were just regular people, you met them, you're not going to think twice about them. You walk past them on the street, you're not going to think twice about them. They've made money, and the importance that we've put on money is absolutely fucking insane because money is energy. But that actual piece of paper that's backed by gold or it's not even gold standard anymore, but it's pieces of paper. It's the bartering system. People used to have things that they used to trade with. Now we trade paper around. It's no more valuable than a piece of loose leaf or fucking a napkin. It literally means nothing. It's it's just a psychological phenomenon. And there have been plenty of them throughout the history of humanity, but this is the latest. And people were like, oh, I want to be Bill Gates. I want to be Jeff Bezos. I want to be Elon Musk, or I want to be Mark Zuckerberg. Really? Have you looked at them? Is that the body and the physique and the stature and the posture? I want to be Trump. Oh yeah. Have you seen this posture, bro? This dude is leaned up and fucking. This dude is on the podium. His chest is touching the fucking microphone. His legs are 10 feet behind him. Come on, y'all. Your fucking your gauge is fucked up. I could understand if Trump looked like Chris Evans, if he looked like fucking Captain America, if he looked like Mike Trout. All right, I got you. I understand you, white America. Yeah, you got behind your boy. He looked like fucking Captain America. All right, dude is a fucking bozo. All those people I just mentioned, like nothing against them, and big respect to them for making that money because people think it comes easily, but it fucking doesn't. Um, Dudes worked their ass off, started from nothing. They just had a fucking thought and they ran with that shit. So that's big respect. But do I want to be them? Fuck no. Would I like to have their money? Sure. Would I like to be them in order to have their money? Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't want to be Andrew Tate or Wes either. I don't want to be anybody. I want to be me. But at least you can understand if Andrew Tate or this dude Wes are in front of you. Most people crossing the street and they are going to be uncomfortable and intimidated by it. And that's valid. It's a lot more valid than those other billionaires. And Their message is one of integrated aggression, which is very important for everyone. Like having your aggression integrated is what makes you a good person. If you don't have, if you don't have aggression, that's fine. I mean, in this society, it's fine because for the most part, you don't need it. But if you don't have, if you're a meek and quiet and shy person, that does not make you a good person. If you can't do things that you wouldn't do, then you're weak. And being weak is not virtuous. Being weak is just being weak. And forever we have looked down upon those people because those people don't pass their genetics on in general, because that's part of the mating game is women look for men who are strong and men look for women who look like they can bear children. That's the game. And it's not only look, it's smell, it's we're fucking animals. So we do all the things that all the other animals do. We just don't think we're animals for the most part. And that's where you fucking lose me. But at least you can understand why all these young men and boys are attracted to Wes and the Tates because they have their aggression integrated. Um, Theoretically, they're protectors and they're providers, and that's the purpose that men have always had, and that has been, I'm not going to say taken away, but the emphasis has been taken off of it in our society, and that's that's why men have it the worst out here right now because they've lost any kind of purpose. So, you know, men's suicide is through the roof, men incarceration is through the roof. Um, Men's literacy is in the fucking trash. Um, Drug use and abuse is through the roof. Men are disenfranchised, and I'm not saying, you know, let's all feel bad for the men. I mean, I'm just saying what it is. And that has repercussions on society because when the men suck, everybody sucks. Everything sucks. And hey, the women suck too. So it's not like but the women are doing better than the men. That's for sure. As of right now, like obviously it's going to take time for women to catch up, but women are doing better than men by every fucking metric. So there's no fucking debating that. And yeah, integrating that aggression, you know, and that's not just obviously men are more aggressive in general. There's an overlap of 1% of women who are more aggressive than men, but it's an important thing for women also because whether you think that you're in the society where aggression doesn't matter and violence doesn't exist, that doesn't matter because it does. And it's still a very primal, primal understanding. And we deal with that every single day. And everybody needs to integrate their aggression because that's a huge part to what makes you dangerous. And you got to be dangerous. As man, Scott Galloway. Scott Galloway says something that I think we should all know. I think we do know. You walk into a room and there's 50 people in there, you should be able to outrun, kill, and eat everyone in there. And if you can't, then you're weak in some type of way. And you should work on getting strong because we are still animals. We are still playing an animal game. People, if you looked around, got a lot of fucking issues, and you can see them plain this fucking day. Mental illness is at an all-time high. Now, is it really at an all-time high, or do we just everybody gets tested and everybody's um is more out in the open, it's more acceptable to have mental illness. That's what I believe for sure. I think mental illness is probably at an all-time low because aggression is at an all-time low. And aggression is at an all-time low, and you could tell because murders are at an all-time low. And violent crimes are at an all-time low. Or they were at an all-time low a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, they're up, but still way fucking down. People are extremely delusional. People think that the world started when they were born. So now you have everyone has a phone, there's cameras everywhere, there's fucking social media, there's the news 24/7. So people think that it's fucking Armageddon. But in reality, it's the greatest time to ever be a human in the history of existence. So that's pretty fucking paradoxical, but that's the truth. It's the safest it's ever been. That doesn't mean you should walk around looking at your fucking phone like, oh, yeah, nothing's gonna happen to me. People use the phone as a buffer, as a self-defense mechanism. And that's the dumbest shit ever. I mean, it just makes no fucking sense. I mean, you just are walking late. You're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for someone. For the most part, people are great. People don't bother you. People don't even look at you. They don't even fuck about you. So it is safe to do that because nobody paying you no attention. But if there's someone who's looking to prey upon people, then they're looking for someone who is exhibiting those exact characteristics. So you're just walking around with a little banner right in front of you, like, hey, take advantage of me. I am not present. So yeah, don't do that. Or do that at your own risk. But yeah, that was a long ass fucking rant. A lot of different directions. That's just where I'm at right now. Feels good to just let shit out. And hey, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. It's just my opinion, you know. Um, now my opinion is based on a lot of facts and a lot of real world experience, but you don't have to agree with me. And I'm not gonna like you any less if you don't. So have a great day. Hope you're doing good. Peace.